All right. Anna Hall, how are you, superstar? All right, Anna.
Okay.
This is a
Like,
mic check. Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How you feeling?
I'm great. What about yourself? Get this a little
You know,
brighter.
every day we just keep pressing forward. That's what it's about. We got to keep on pressing forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, did it ask you that? Did it let you know that I'm putting it on YouTube? Did it ask you that already?
Um, you putting this on YouTube?
Yeah, we're recording it, so it's live and it's gonna be recorded forever on YouTube.
Well, I'm glad you told me because I ain't used to
Mm.
recording. I mean, I know about recording, but I guess I ain't been on no Facebook and YouTube and stuff. Yeah, because I
But
normally don't do that.
oh, really? Well, that was the whole point. Like I wanted to interview you.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's first start with me acknowledging how we met. So to all our audience, I want you guys to know I'm in Chicago, Gary, Indiana, and I work with a brother named Reverend Taylor. And this brother is trying to connect all the dots like we do. And so he connected me with some of his associates that he worked with in the plumbing realm. And I had a chance to meet this queen here, Anna Hall. And I'm gonna tell you guys, it's an honor to have her carve out time to do this interview. As you just heard, she's one of the people I call a tough cookie to crack. And so we're gonna see if we can get her to smile a little bit here and
I'm
give us the
smiling.
real reality. There we go. All right. So, Sister Anna, first and foremost, thank you for your time. What I want to do here, I want to first probe, tell our audience about who you are, about what you do, and then I want to close it out with kind of where are we on our way to as a people, city of Chicago? Like, is it upward, downward trending? So, first, who are you, superstar?
Um, I'm Anna Hall. Okay, I'm an African American strong black woman. But I'm the owner of P&H Divine Plumbing. I'm also a plumber. I've been in the union for 36 years. I was the first female plumber black to work for the water department. Um, we locate in the city of Chicago. And who I am, I just believe is that as black people, I believe this is our time and we need to build one another. We need to build each other up. So that's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
small, but I have a giant behind me.
wait. So, let me first ask this: are you a mother?
Yes. But I'm a mother, but not by birth, but I'm a mother.
Okay. And so growing up though, what did you see? You grew up in Chicago, you grew up in the South. Like where did you grow up at? What did you see?
Oh, I saw a lot. I grew up in Robert Taylor. I grew up in Robert Taylor's on 41st and Federal. I come from a big family. We stuck together. We still stick together today. And don't believe everything what everybody said. If you grew up in Robert Taylor, they expect you to be a certain way or act a certain way. No, that is not true.
But let me say this, because our audience is gonna watch this all around the world. We have a strong support system in Africa. Robert Taylor homes are considered the longest, the largest housing project in the country. And it was miles of Robert Taylor homes on the South Side. Tell us about Robert Taylor homes a little bit so our audience globally will know where you came from.
Well, people call it the low income, but that is not true because most people that I knew, even my family, they had jobs. They just came from the South. So when they came up here, they came up here with a family. It actually was a mother and father. It actually was a husband and wife. And so I think later down the years, people started associating Robert Taters as being low income people, but I didn't see it as low income because we had good heat. We always had something to eat. Our family made sure we had gifts. I mean, we just made sure they worked hard for us to be taken care of. So I saw Mrs. and Mrs. Jones. I saw Mrs. and Mrs. Smith. So this was the first time I actually saw marriage when I lived in Robert Taylor.
Now, where did y'all come up from? Your family came up from the South. Where at?
Well, my grandfather, they came from the South, I believe Mississippi.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I always tell people my mother's side is from Florida, father's side from Birmingham, Alabama. And I think it's important that we know kind of where at in the South we migrated up, to this place too. So let me ask you this. Out of your siblings, you made it as a plumber. What's some of the professions your siblings are?
Well, my sister she does house care, and my brother is really retired. And I had I have a sister, or I had a sister that's deceased, and I had a brother that's deceased.
With our deceased personnel, and I think I shared this with you when I met you in person, we call it ancestors, retirees, adults, and youth for every profession, because there's something to learn about our ancestors, the people who made it during a season that we would never know. So like, even if they're deceased and they were a teacher, what was it like being a teacher back in the 1920s or 30s? If you was a plumber, what was it like in the 1920s or 30s? So we still need to pull that information out of the people who are still living about those people who transition, so our younger generation can know and be more grateful the shoulders that they're standing on. So we'll talk later about your family to get that history part, because I do think that's going to help us moving forward. So now talk us through plumbing. Like what got you into that field? Is it lucrative?
Really, what got me in this field, I used to work for the city of Chicago at O'Hare. The brother is gone home, I say, to be with the Lord. He used to always talk to some of the ladies at the airport and say that you all need to go and apply to get into the plumbers union, because at that time they did not have a lot of Black plumbers out there at O'Hare, and there was only a few Black men. So this guy named was Matt. So I would say he was very instrumental in getting me in the trade, me and another young lady. So I wasn't thinking about the trade, but by him just kept talking about it, that he knew they was going to open more, to women, especially Black women. So that's what made me go and apply.
Now that's something. So Mac got you involved, and that means Mac saw something and said, let's help our people out like every other group. So that kills that narrative. But what was you doing at O'Hare? You was doing something else out there?
Well, I'm doing information. You know how you give the information when the people come to the airport. So I was doing more so information. So, that was a big difference to go from information to actually leaving, going into apprenticeship, then come back years later as a plumber for the city of Chicago.
Now, let me ask this. As a female, the stereotype is y'all don't like getting your fingernails dirty. What was the transition for you to do that?
No, I wouldn't believe that, because that's how I met my husband, getting my hands dirty. So all I had to do, take those clothes off. After that, it was a different Anna. So I don't believe that. I don't know who came up with that.
I thought you was gonna hit us with, we got to change all y'all diapers. It don't get no more dirtier than that. That's what I thought you were gonna say. But yeah. Now racism is real, and we already know that the city of Chicago, Dr. King himself said it, who's been all around the world. When he went through Marquette Park, got hit with the brick, he said he never seen racism like Chicago. That's saying something for a man of his travel to say that. What was it like growing up with that racism in the professions, in the trades?
Oh, it's still going on today. It's not just, I think it's more so obvious today than ever before. But my thing is that you got to be able to stand up what you believe in. You can't go by what other people said. And when you see that, you got to deal with that head on. You just can't overlook it, because once you overlook what I believe, a person would just keep doing it. So I'm a straight up woman. Most Black women are. So I'm going to address it head on. I don't care if you like it or not, but it's something different is happening today's side. It's not just other race, it's our own race discriminating against each other. And it seemed like to me, I'm I'm kind of finding that more because I can understand where the other race is coming from, but when it's our own people, that's a whole different beast.
Now, when you say that, I put this together for my own mental clarity that you got, because remember, they talk about Black Wall Street, but here's how I see Black Wall Street. You have Black people who's forced to be around each other. The affluent Blacks was forced to live there, even with the poor Blacks. So were they really together, or was the affluent Blacks just waiting to get the heck away from the poor Blacks? So when the laws changed, white flight took place, and the whites got away. Soon as they get past the laws and let the Blacks do it, the elite Blacks left too. So I'm thinking that even when we said we were all together, we really weren't. I put us in 4 buckets: the elite Blacks, who we have the least common with. They primarily want to be like the white folks. You got the comfortable Blacks, a little bit more well off. Then you got the day-to-day Blacks. I consider myself day-to-day. I'm in the grind. I'm fighting every day. Then you got the bad shape Blacks, the ones that embarrass us, the ones who hopefully is just in a temporary status of being in bad shape and not a permanent decoration of the rest of their life. So when you say you see it worse now, I'm associating it with the bad shape Blacks. I never counted the elite Blacks because they haven't been in my neck of the woods. So it's really about the day-to-day Blacks and the comfortable Blacks doing something, because the bad shape Blacks can't be counted on right now. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't care which name you give it, it's still a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just think it's a mindset. I just think it's a mindset because that's the way our man has been trained. So I just think it's a mindset. And once we change the mindset, those 4 categories you gave, I think we all can come together. It started in the man. And sometimes we think somebody is getting ahead. And really, that person, you may be thinking they're getting ahead, but you don't know what that person was struggling with behind. You thinking they getting ahead, but you don't know what they went through behind. So this is in your mind because you really don't know that person. You just saying things. You just looking on the outside. You have no information about this person, and this is what you come up with. So I think it's in the mindset. It's in the mindset.
Now I'm gonna challenge you a little bit and on this one, because you in this field that I know. You ain't got to say no names, but there are some elite Blacks who are sitting next to the seat of power who are not making sure Blacks are getting into the trade. That's making sure Blacks aren't getting contracts. So when you see that, how do you think you go change them? Like, what do you think is the solution for those who are comfortable being next to power?
Well, I just think you just gotta just keep fighting. I think eventually they're gonna come around, but I think some of they uneducated too. Just because they sitting in power, I don't think they really understand how the trades really work, especially how the unions work. So it's one thing to be a politician. It's another thing that you actually went through apprenticeship, right? You're actually a trade person. So I just think they put the trades and the contracts and the politician together, and really they all are separate. So I think once they sit down and actually talk to people who have been around a while, they've been in the trade, been in the union, then they will understand they have to come together and change whatever they thinking is not right, so they can help people get ahead.
So what would you say needs to happen for Chicago and in terms of getting more people in the field and seeing contracts being awarded?
I think people just need to come out more. I think people really need to speak up more. But I think before people start speaking up, they all need to get together to make sure they're on the same mindset before you go before these people. Then you find out somebody else is thinking something different than what you talk about. So I think it's a mindset. Everybody needs to sit down and see what the issues are, and we come together and take it to the power to be. But the bottom line, we all have to be on the same page. But I can tell you right now, this is not going to get better if we don't come together. Because in Chicago, it is about to be a lot of work. But guess what? It's a shortage of labor now. So what they going to do when they didn't elect the people in the union now? What they going to do with all these projects coming up? I don't see it. how they going to make this happen, because you got to remember most people is about to retire because they over 50. So it's I look at it like this, right? First, it seemed like you wasn't letting the people in the union, right? Now it's starting to be so much work. What they gonna do if they don't have the people? There's no way those buildings can go up if you don't have anybody doing the work. So they're gonna have to come up with another plan. So to me, this is the right time for people like you, myself, other people to get together and think about a strategy how we can help them. They think they helping us, we can help each other. That's
Well,
what
now wait, let's take the high schools, Dunbar in particular. I went to Dunbar for almost 4 years. How do we attract the youngsters into the plumbing, all the trades? But how do you see that being a strategy to get them on board?
Well, you and I know Mr. Taylor, Bill Taylor used to teach plumbing down there at Dunbar. They need to bring them back in the high school because everybody's not going to college. And even I know some people went to college, but they're not making the kind of money that a trade person. Plumbers are making over 6 figures today. So that's a nice. And then also, it's something that someone can never take away from you. They may take away your license, but they can't take away their knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's going to always keep food on for you to take care of your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think if they get back into schools, or I just think if young people get more educated about what the trades is really about, because a lot of time people thought being in plumbing, we was just, cleaning toilets. I mean, it's so much more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
It's so much. It's so much.
And so finally, on my end, when you look at Black Chicago, and what do you think in terms of Black people being committed to supporting each other, just like Chinatown, Greek Town, Little Italy? Everyone knows to keep their culture going, you need the dollars to circulate. Give us your thoughts on are we doing that? We're going to do better? What do you think?
Well, I think we're doing better because I know some organizations, without naming the organization, we have been talking, we have been meeting, and I know I've been going places, speaking to explain what it feel like as a Black woman to be in a trade, because a lot of time people talking, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand the union. They just think it's just, oh, it's so beautiful to be in the union. But let me explain to you how I got here and how I'm able to stay 36 years. So it's not so much I'm like promoting the union or anything, but I want to be able to explain to people it may be the reason you may want to join, maybe the reason you may not want to join. But at least somebody that been in the trench can be able to help somebody else if that's the decision they want to make.
Excellent, excellent. Did I leave anything out? What do you think?
Well, I think Black people is on to something. I think we finally realized what we need to do, because anybody know charity start at home. So I don't see anything wrong with taking care of your family. To me, it seems like we the only race have a problem with taking care of each other. Other races are doing, I'm happy for them. That's the way it should be. That's the way I was raised. So at this age in life, I'm not going to have anyone change my mind, act like I'm doing something wrong, especially when I'm saying Black contractors, Black plumbing contractors, just Black people, period. Until we get what we're supposed to get, I'm going to keep saying that.
So you for or against reparations?
I'm for it.
All right. All right.
We built this country, right? I mean, give us what we give us. If you give us that, this can create a lot of jobs. It's just so much can be done.
On that note, what I always tell people, reparations, it's really 3 parts. The first part is you got to acknowledge what you did wrong. It ain't nothing like saying sorry and you ain't telling me what you're sorry for. So all them textbooks full of lies and all that, you got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth. Second, you got to give back what was taken. And they got literally artifacts, animals in their museums, in their zoos. Got to give it back. You can't say sorry and keep what you took.
I got
Then
you.
the last one, you got to pay. You got to pay for the penalty and the restitution to restore those people and their ancestors and their what they didn't inherit. So I think we go right to the money part, but money without acknowledging you lied and without giving back what you took, so it's gonna happen. The question is when, not if. It's a matter of when.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time.
Okay.
Well, let's shout out Reverend Taylor. What is it that you and Reverend Taylor do so the people know that?
Reverend Taylor is the founder of the African American Plumbing Contractor Association. He makes sure that we are on point. He go out there, he speak for us. He makes sure the plumbing contractors understand the blueprints. Sometimes he's doing the bidding. He's just an all-American, strong Black man who's definitely for Black people, and he's Reverend. So he's straddling both. You know how the world is, and you know how Christ is. So I see him as somebody that we always gonna need around.
Now it's something because when I met Anna, you guys, she was giving Reverend Taylor the business, and so I knew he had the temperament to handle that energy. So I joked with him after. I said, "Boy, she give you the business, but he got the right temperament, so he's a good guy." How do people reach you, Anna, as we close out?
Oh, they can reach me at 312-474-5757.
One more time.
312-474-5757.
Excellent. Now, if they got the toilet stopped up, can they call you or they shouldn't call you? They should call who?
They can call that number.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you for your time. It wasn't that bad, was it?
No. All
right. Take care. We'll talk.
Okay. You too. Okay.
Peace. Bye. I'll send you the link to this video on YouTube.